Hello, all my space peoples. How are we doing tonight? It's time for another episode of Let's Play Star Trek Online. We are here on Ensign Ricky, and it is time for the next mission here. Let's see. I forgot where we left off. It's been a little bit since I've done this. Let's see where we are. Oh yes, it's time for Skirmish. That's right. We're going to start what used to be a separate Dividian FE or featured series called the Dividian arc, and it starts with Skirmish, and then Spin the Wheel, What Lies Beneath, Everything Old is New, Night of the Comet. And these used to be separate from the main storyline, and you would do it like the current feature series. It was a whole separate thing like that, and you could run it at any time you wanted. But now they have included it as part of the main storyline, and they've put it under the Klingon War arc. I don't know why. I still wish it was separate, because I quite liked being able to play through the FE series that I wanted separately, and then getting the rewards from that and using that in other missions. So we have no choice but to play it in order now. So that's what we're going to do. This is actually not the first FE. The first one they came out with was the Breen stuff on Defera and all that, but and then they did the Dividian arc, and then they did the Riemann stuff, but for some reason they've moved this to the first series that you play. So that is what it is. So let's do it. Hail. We're going to there's this whole series is cool. You'll notice Franklin Drake here is not wearing a regular Starfleet uniform, and that's because you're going to find out that he's in Section 31. So that's kind of cool. We have reports of a True-Way fleet entering the neutral zone and picking a fight with the Klingons near the Donatu system. Having two of our enemies fight is good for the Federation, but I want to know why the True-Way is so far out of their territory. Intercept them and deal with them. If you need to engage the Klingons, do so. A Starfleet task force has already been sent to the area. You'll need to join them in the Donatu system as soon as possible. Go to the Donatu system in the Donatu sector of the Eta Eridani sector block and engage a True-Way attack force. Going to get a ton of skill points. We're going to be able to choose between a subspace field modulator or a phase shifted personal shield, and I'm going to go for the personal shield because playing this whole series, that's going to help us against the Dividians that we come up against. But we'll replay it later and get the field modulator, which is an auto leveling thing that you can put a device you can put on your ship that is really cool. And I want both of those. So it's a good rewards on this first mission, and this first mission is pretty easy. So let's accept it, and let's beam out. This is a really fun series. There's time travel involved, and we get to see some old faces. So it's quite unique, and one of the more fun FEs in this game, that whole series. So I guess it's kind of cool that they start off with that as the one of the first series that you do, because it is pretty fun. It's got a good story to it. So it's going to be a bit of a long flight down. I apologize. I guess it gives me more time to talk to you, doesn't it? We can have a nice fireside chat and talk, and it's been a long time since you and I have talked, and you know, you got all that stuff over there and this stuff over here, and you know, things happen, this and that, and you know, so It's good we get together like this on occasion. I absolutely have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm just making it up as I go. So here is sector space, and we are going as fast as we possibly can at warp 9.40. I've had some requests in the feedback to talk about the skill system, which I haven't really talked about yet, and I guess that's been a failing of mine. It looks confusing at first, but it's actually kind of easy. If you hover over each little thingy here, it tells you what it does. Like starship attack patterns. This skill improves starship attack patterns. The higher your attack pattern skill, the better your attack pattern abilities are, like attack pattern alpha, beta, delta, and omega. Well, I'm not using any attack patterns. Attack patterns you'll find on escorts. Or you can use attack patterns on any ship really, but you know, you're going to use them more on escorts. And I don't have any attack patterns, so I've had no need to put skill into that. Starship weapons training, that's self-explanatory. This skill improves your starship's weapon damage, including all energy and projectile weapons. Well, yeah, you want that. Anyone would want that. This is like a duh kind of one. Just go ahead and max this one out, because that's going to help you on anything. Next is driver coil. This one's questionable. You don't need this one to succeed in missions. This one will help you go faster in sector space and turn faster at full impulse. But when you're at full impulse, you can't fight because all your power levels are drained, so you don't really need driver coil. I'm using it right now to help us get around this game faster. But I'm probably going to scale it, reskill and scale it back down to level 6 and leave it there so I don't waste those skill points on it, because you really don't need it. Starship batteries. This skill improves the duration of starship batteries. Improving this skill causes, like, you know, shield batteries and engine batteries and stuff like that. I don't use batteries. You can, but you don't really need to. So since I'm not using batteries, I have no need to use this skill. Starship hull repair. Again, self-explanatory. This skill improves all starship hull repair and healing abilities. I'm an engineer, and I'm going to use engineering team. Eventually I'm going to have hazard emitters and a miracle worker, since I'm an engineer. So this is very useful to me, and plus I'm on a cruiser. I've got a big hull, and it's a large hull, and it will take a long time to regenerate. So this helps improve that. This is science and operations stuff. I'm not a science officer, and I'm not going to use many science abilities on my build because I'm an engineer on this build, and I've got a cruiser. I'm just not going to use many science abilities. I'm not going to use gravity well or any of that other stuff. So for my build, I'm more of a healer. I'm more of a tank, and I'm going to build that as such. So starship flow capacitors. This skill improves your starship's shield and energy drain abilities. The higher the skill, the more your abilities will drain power or shield strength from a target. Well, I'm not using anything like tachyon beam or energy siphon, so I don't need that. Starship shield emitters. This skill improves all starship shield repair and healing abilities. Now this one I might want to skill up. I haven't yet, but this will help my shields on my ship, and I will be using science team once I get that. So once I get that, I might also use rotate shield frequency. That's useful for a cruiser. So this one I actually do need to increase, and I've got some skill points right now, so I'll go ahead and put that in there. So that one I will look at further. Down here for ground skills, weapon proficiency, that's important. This skill improves ranged ground weapon damage. This skill only improves the damage of ranged weapons. It does not improve any secondary effects. The skill does not improve melee weapons. So this is important for ranged weapons, and since I'm using all ranged weapons and I'm not a melee character, this is the skill I need for ground to help me with weapon damage. And a lot of these other ones have to deal with your kit powers, so you only want to skill up the ones that affect your kit powers. Demolition, Chronoton Mine Barrier, Transphasic Bomb, and Orbital Strike. Well, I don't use Chronoton Mine Barrier or Transphasic Bomb, but later in the game I will get Orbital Strike. If I end up using that a lot, I want to put skill into it. But generally I'm probably going to save it for other abilities like my turrets and drones when I get there. So that's the lieutenant rank, and you'll see you have to have a certain amount of skills in this whole column right here before you can start putting skills under lieutenant commander. You have to also, of course, be a lieutenant commander to do that. And now that I'm a lieutenant commander, both these columns are open to me as long as I have enough skills in this one. Then I started putting skills in lieutenant commander. Let's warp real quick over here and...
On the front lines of the Klingon Federation war, brave captains from both sides battle to defend their homes and gain advantages for their faction. Each death has meaning. Every victory can turn the tide. These are the conflicts that will determine the fate of the quadrant.
So now we're in the neutral zone. This is a new part of space we haven't seen yet. We're down here in this Ida Eridani block, and that's just left of the Klingon stuff. This is what's considered the neutral zone, and it's interesting because in the old series you heard a lot about the neutral zone, but you heard it when it had to deal with like the Romulans, and as you can see, it's nowhere near Romulan space, which is all up in here. So it only kind of deals with Klingon space right now. Apparently there has to be a neutral zone between us and the Romulans, but I don't know where that would be or how that works out. Anyway, okay, a little bit more about the skill tree. Now I'm in the Lieutenant Commander slot. I was able to max this one. Starship Energy Weapons. Again, this skill improves all Starship Energy Weapons damage, including beam and cannons, and I'm using beam, so of course I want that maxed, so I have that. Projectile weapons, this is like your torpedo damage and stuff, and I'm going to be using beams and torpedoes, so I'm going to max both of these because I want that, damage. Come down here to engineering systems. This skill improves your starship's hull strength. I'll probably max this one because that's important. I'm on a cruiser and I can really beef that up by improving my hull strength. Subsystem repair, this skill improves the starship's subsystem repair rate and the ship's crew. Since I have a large ship like this, it actually would be beneficial to do this, but it's not like, absolutely necessary. I may put some into this, I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes. Warp core efficiency, yes. This skill improves all your ship's power levels, weapons, shields, engines, and auxiliary. So all my power levels will improve by maxing that. So I definitely want that. Again, science stuff, not too worried about. This skill grants you resistance to attacks that drain your shields, and since I'm going to have like awesome shields anyway and stuff because I'm on a cruiser, I don't really need to worry about that too much. Shield systems, this skill improves your shield strength, so this is one I will worry about. These two here are important for having that shield strength on my ship. And then we come down to PS generator. This skill improves shield hit points of ground shields. The more points in the skill, the more damage your ground shield can take. So this will be important too. I want to, because they kind of really nerfed the shields since when season 4 came out of the new ground system, and shield strength is just like, it's pitiful. This one I actually want to improve so I have better shields and won't have to worry about my health. And then repairs. Shield again, kit powers. Shield recharge, reroute power to shields, quick fix, engineering proficiency. If I use a lot of those kit powers, I could do this or not. I'm probably going to wait because I know one of the ones I want to use is definitely this one for seeker drone and support drone, because I'm going to use those heavily when I get up here to captain. So those I want to save skill points to max that out for sure. So we'll talk about each column. When I get to commander, I'll talk about skills I'm putting into that one. One more thing you can do if you have no idea what powers you're using connect to what skill, all you have to do is go down here and, like for example myself, choose one of my kit powers, weapons malfunction 2, and it highlights what affects that. Modification specialist, weapons proficiency, and that's it. So all you have to do is click on these things and it will show, like, okay, let's go to my ship and let's select my, what do I have? Well, photon torpedo. I mean, There's photon torpedo, and it shows weapons training and projectile weapons affect that. So anything, as you see I have over here, it changes to show, it highlights, you know, what's needed for that. My engineer, here is her, no, that's not the one. One of these has beam overload. Who has beam overload? Blue lightning has beam overload. So we can select blue lightning, select well, it doesn't have a, it doesn't really need a skill to, because it's, yeah, because you skill up this one here. And that's another thing I haven't told you about the skills for each thing here on your bridge officers. Basically, you want to skill these up as much as possible, because these are your power. This is their skills for their powers that you have on your ship or on ground, and you definitely want to make sure you skill them up. As you can see, I haven't been really paying attention to that and doing a good job of it at all. And you have to be careful, because if you change powers, you lose those skill points for your bridge officers. You don't gain them back. So as I change powers and stuff, we'll look at that. But I mean, I'm doing so good right now, I'm not even going to worry about anything. But that's just a basic overview of the skills. They're important to your character, so pay attention to them. It's the best advice I can get. Read a lot. Read and study. Let's get this show on the road. So there you go. There's your info about skills. Okay, we got true way fleets. We got Klingon fleets. We have to disable the Axon. So we've got a ton of enemies here to deal with, and we're all set. Oh, that's weird. Anyway, okay. And I got some help. Starfleet has sent some ships to help me. Thank goodness.
Ship is under attack. Target's shields have failed.
That is so awesome. Boom! Galler class starship.
Target's shields have failed.
You're mine. Mine! And you're dead. And I'm being fired on by several ships.
Left shield failing.
Uh-oh.
Target's shield have failed.
Uh-oh. Abandoned ship! We're good. So that's why I love all these heals that I have already, just as a lieutenant commander.
Target's shields have failed.
That's the Axon. Before I get it, let's get this Galler over here. Come here, boy. Ah, you're too far away. There's a lot of ships out there still.
Target's shields have failed.
Stop shooting me. Watch this. Boom. Stopped him. See how awesome that works? Okay, now that they're taken out, now I can get the axe on.
Target shields have failed.
And he's got photonic fleet, which if you're a science officer is a ability you can get, which is pretty sweet, I gotta tell ya.
Four
Here we
shields
go.
failing.
Gotta take out his photonics. There we go. Not bad at all. And that, my friends, is how you fight a battle. Beam over, which we will do. Let's kick some butt. Some cardi butt. Cardi butt. That sounds like an awful disease. I've got cardi butt syndrome. Get on my loots. Hello, loots. Lutuses. Lutants. Oh no. Ah, here we go. Oh. These interrogators are pretty tough, but I'm tougher. You can see shields get hit pretty hard. I've got 158 shields, so not much at all. Disable force field, which I just did. So now we took care of the Cardassians. Just getting everything I can so I can sell it later. Gotta find my way to the bridge. Not this way, that's the way I came. This way. Ha. Uh-oh, what's going on? It just turned blue. And there are things floating around. If you were at all familiar with the Next Generation episodes Time's Arrow, you will know exactly what that was. Investigate strange occurrence in a mess hall, which we have, and it turned blue on us. Captain, did you see that? Investigate dead Cardassian. Captain, what are those things, sir? The Cardassian doesn't have any wounds on him, but the readings show that he was dead before we entered the room. I recommend that we find a medkit and perform an examination on the corpse. We need to know more about what happened. Uh-oh. Aha! It's doing it again. It's doing it again. There it was again. Investigate dead Cardassian. Sir, the Cardassian has died. Blah, blah, blah. Use the med kit. All of the medical equipment in the kit has been sterilized and is ready for use. Study medical records. So you have to go around to each thing and you have to read each patient's records to figure out. This is a puzzle. The first of many puzzles we'll find along our way, where you have to read patient records and find out what they used to examine these people and what's going on with them, and it will lend a clue to the answer for the puzzle. And so before you can do that, though, you do have to read every single one, so make sure you do that. We're at 3 of 5. Just go around and read every one. Now that we've read all of them, we can go use the medical tools on the Cardassian, the Cardibut. And we will use the med kit, and I have a sneaking suspicion that it's a neurolytic probe. That's just a guess. Use neurolytic probe. Investigate dead Cardassian. The neurolytic probe has determined that this individual died from a radical decrease in neural energy. It's almost as if he was drained by an outside source. All of the brain's activity came to a complete stop as its energy was depleted. Sir, there's a great deal of interference being picked up by the tricorder, most likely the result of an energy residue from whatever was used. So now we have to go to the science lab across the hall and search for this unusual energy pattern. Something about draining neural energy. I've got a sneaking suspicion we should start scanning for triolic waves. I'm picking up a large concentration of triolic waves centered around the ship's bridge. Triolic waves are harmful to humanoids. We will not be able to be in the area for long. Investigate triolic wave energy on the bridge. Look at the shadows on the wall. I had never noticed that before. Look at the shadows on the wall with the light. Ooh, that is so cool and creepy and awesome. Shadow puppet time. Woohoo! Uh-oh, what's going on? It's all blue. Oh, what are these? They are visitors. In fact, they are Dividians from a different phase-shifted reality. And it is our job to destroy them. And they do that. Now it's time for the big one. There he is, the Phantasm. Giving him everything I got, because he is pretty tough. And once he gets a hold of you, it's hard to break free. Like that. And he regenerates his health by doing that also. So very not helpful. Die, you stupid Phantasm. Yes, we win. Access bridge console. Choose log entry. Read captain's log. Our mission goes well. The Axon has disabled or destroyed 7 enemy ships. I look forward to reporting our success. The chief medical officer is concerned about casualties. Yeah, okay, you can read that. Chief engineer's log. Repairs to the Axon go as expected. Running low on deuterium and warp coils. Wish there was more time between battles. 4 crewmen died. 1 battle, blah blah blah. Unusual spike in triolic wave energy may be affecting warp core efficiency. Must speak to Triolic. Read Science Officer. The Triolic waves will unfortunately prevent a closer study of the comet. So, there's a comet coming in, and it has very high Triolic waves attached to it. I wonder what that could mean. And there are chronotons, evil chronotons and Triolic waves. Ooh. There's interesting stuff going on. Interesting stuff indeed. Return to ship. When chronotons are involved, you know there's time travel. And that's it. We're done with Skirmish, the very first of that series. And, well, first we need to pick up our stuff. So let's hail Starfleet, and let's get a phase-shifted personal shield.
Congratulations, Lieutenant Commander.
And I'm now Lieutenant Commander 14. So now that we have that, we're going to put on my phase-shifted personal shield, which is a very rare personal shield. As you can see, it reduces psionic damage by 19%, and that's what the Dividians use. That's one of their powers. So it's going to be useful through this series. It has a higher shield capacity, 158, what I had before. Now I'm having 174, and plus 2.9 shield regeneration. So it regens a little faster. So that's awesome. Great shield, perfect for this rank. So we can, when we get to Commander, you know, we can replay this mission and get a level 6 shield, phase shifted shield. It's a good shield to have just generally while you're leveling up. I mean, you won't have to spend money on a shield. Just replay this mission and keep getting that shield at every rank, you know, until you're Vice Admiral, and you'll have a great shield. So that's cool. We got what we needed, and we'll do the next mission, Spin the Wheel, after this message from our sponsor. No, just kidding. After I do it, or when I do it. See y'all later.